Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Davo from Archon Esports bringing you another 1v1 Starcraft 2 cast today. This time, High Masters League to Mid Masters League on the US servers. Cool. So let's introduce our players real quick. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have our Red Zerg, who is FTaCtPsycho. FTaCtPsycho, but I will just call him Psycho from here on out, as that is a bit of a mouthful, I'm sure you will agree. And in the top right hand corner we have our Blue Terran, who is the submitter of this game to cast it, and he is Echo. Awesome. Blue is for some reason the colour I would relate to the word Echo. I don't know why, but there you go, so that works for me. Hooray! Awesome, so the map is Core Compound today, and I've always found it a bit of a strange map because of this kind of dip in the middle here, right here, that takes up quite a lot of the screen. So that's, you know, that I found that strange, because basically you can hold the high ground and the Zelnaga Tower, and you're very, very powerful either way. And, you know, to get a good route of attack, you have to go round the sides, really. That's just something that I have noticed. There is no luck in StarCraft, says FTaCtPsycho. Good Scamil. Okay, then have fun. Awesome, so Echo, just being generally a nice guy. See, there's the chat log. Joy of joys, and thank you going to Psycho. Awesome. And in many ways he's correct. There is very, very little luck in StarCraft. It is largely just relating to skill. I mean, yeah, that's entirely truthful, if I'm honest, or at least I believe it is. Anyway, I mean, it can be unlucky if it lags. Can be unlucky if you're not quite watching, but then again, I guess that boils down to skill as well. So Echo is blocking off the top of his ramp, so it does actually look like he's probably going to be a little bit more defensive than, you know, than quite a lot of Terrans these days do like to be, where they can just build an expansion very, very quickly indeed and stick it on the low ground, on their natural, near their base. And we have a Marine coming out for Echo, and he does actually look, wow, actually, it looks like, I can eat my words, because it looks like Echo is planning to do a bunker rush, not defensive at all. I mean, this bunker is quite far back, I will say that, so it is going to prevent certain things from happening, like move-outs or anything like that, but now that that has been found, oh dear, Psycho calling Echo a retard right now, and saying that, Psycho pulls most of his drones off the line in order to try and deal with it. I mean, is it? I mean, okay, and it does look like that's going to get cancelled, yeah, from Echo right now, not wanting to spend too many of his minerals. But it was quite far back for a bunker harassment. I mean, he's not actually going to be able to shoot much stuff there like that. And here we go, the drone's coming off again. I mean, in many ways, Psycho is completely right to do this, because it can be so dangerous for Zerg players to deal with this kind of thing. Oh, these Marines do not look like perhaps they're going to be able to get away. You know what? I'm just going to pause the game real quick. Go options, gameplay, and I'm going to turn on always with selected status bars, because I always cast with that, or at least I try to. Is how I play as well, but I kind of thought that maybe I'd try it out, but I really, really like them with the status bars on. I think it just boils down to preference in the end of the day. I know that quite a lot of different casters have different opinions of this. There we go, that's what I prefer. So we have Echo, who, unfortunately for him, his bunker harassment has more or less failed him quite drastically, and that just means that Psycho can get these Zerglings and start doing some damage right now. A nice control there by Echo by getting that supply depot up in good time, but at the moment, I mean, if we look at the drone's kill count, or the workers killed, Echo has only really killed 2 workers, and that's not the greatest amount of workers for the amount of effort that he has been putting in, but he is switching largely into a bio-orientated build, which is quite safe, and he will want to move out fairly shortly to, you know, secure his natural expansion, because that is a bonus if you can do that. If we look at the production tab at the moment as well, we can see that Psycho. I keep wanting to call him FTaCtPsycho. That's really bad, I know. Is making his queens, which of course are an absolute necessity for any Zerg player who aspires to be the best. He also has a drone in Echo's base, and I don't think Echo actually knows about this drone, otherwise it would most certainly be dead by now. And Echo is going to be moving out and taking his natural expansion, having a good scout around, seeing if there is no funny business going on, which by and large there isn't. There's just an overlord over here, chilling out by some water, and a drone. Just having some fun, really, I suppose, for as much fun as a drone can have. Echo actually spreading his marines out quite nicely, preparing for every eventuality, and then he looks like he's going to be going and doing some Hellion harassment, which is very, very popular against Zerg players as Terran. So, as I said previously, it does actually look like he is going to be heading across the map to go and do that, and of course, it looks like he's going to find that his opponent has a third base right now. Maybe. Of course, it's always good just to kiss the watchtower as well. I say kiss the watchtower, just have a look, you know. I mean, yeah, if I was Echo, I would have suspected that this base was here, because during the bunker rush we did see drones move in this direction. Here we are going to see some fairly solid Hellion play from Echo right now, or at least it was until he nearly got surrounded right there. These Hellions are going to be really, really good against those Zerglings, seeing as the Zerglings don't actually have speed just yet. But they are going to want to keep off the creep just in order to stay alive at the optimum rate, which is obviously not to die. Oh yes. Oh wow. That's like using loads of words just to say one thing. So here we are. We have Metabolic Boost just finishing up right now for Psycho, and that will of course greatly aid his Zerglings because it gives them that really nice speed upgrade. Also it makes them look nice too. Yay! And that is about what at the moment. And we have a starport going down for Echo, so we could see some possible drop plays, or just the inevitable building of medvacs that happens very, very usually in Terran games. I mean, Echo does have a lot of marines right now. Maybe if Psycho could have seen this, he would have maybe opted to go for banelings, but of course roaches are known for being quite good against marines. If you actually look at the Starcraft tech trees, roaches are listed as a direct counter to marines, which is pretty cool. And that is the Guile Reconstitution upgrade for the roaches as well, which of course gives them speed, and it makes roaches very, very, very potent indeed. Here we go, we do have Hellions around the back right now, just killing off one more drone, I believe. Two more drones even. Two more drones right there going down for Psycho. Unfortunately for him, the drones did absolutely get fried, but their Spine Crawler and roaches managed to hold it off. A little bit of Psycho seeing what is going on with his opponent just there, but the Marines taking him out pretty dang quickly. Oh yeah, just one thing real quick, there was no week in esports this week, simply because it was the Queen's Diamond Jubilee here in England, and everyone was out on the streets drinking, having a jolly good time. And to be honest, nobody was working, in particular, and that included me on that day. So there we are, that's basically it. So I'm sorry if you guys felt like you missed out on that. I mean, I'm not actually sure how many people actually watch the week in esports. You know, I hope they do, because I have to give that annoying theme tune, you know, somewhere to go. Right, so here we are. Oh, drone carnage right now. Oh, if these drones can get lined up like that, that would be absolutely brutal. And here we go, we do have the defending Zerglings coming down and trying to do as much damage as possible. And here, are we going to see a split here to avoid getting taken out by these banelings? And yes, we are. It looks perhaps like these roaches are going to be able to clear everything up, and definitely with a group of flanking roaches right here. Sadly, although roaches can't jump, and that medvac is going to get away holding a fair chunk of army inside its belly. Meanwhile, we have Zerglings racing towards the base of Echo, and that would have been scouted by those medvacs, so it's very important to point that out, that Echo does in fact know that this is coming. Perhaps Psycho just scouting, seeing if his opponent has a third, which of course he does not just yet. These Zerglings might get morphed into banelings, but that is still yet to be seen. Meanwhile, we have the 2+ weapons and armor upgrades coming for our Terran player at the moment, and a drop going across the map as well for Echo, and it does actually look like he'll be dropping down into the back of the main base of Psycho right now. Meanwhile, Psycho does actually look like he's going to be preparing to go for an attack. This would be a fairly good time to do it, because the siege tank upgrade is on the way for Echo right now, and we have lots and lots of banelings morphing, perfect for blowing up those supply depots there, which are acting as a nice wall. And at the moment, I think Echo is really in some peril. He really needs to get those siege tanks set up, and he needs to get more than one siege tank too. He has another one on the way. Meanwhile, the drop is landing in the main base of Psycho. It'll be interesting to see if the attack at the front gate goes ahead while the drop in the main base is taking place as well. Spinecrawler going down without a cancel, and 2 more Spinecrawlers getting cancelled straight away. Meanwhile, there is another drop in the 4th base of Psycho as well, and I'm pretty sure that's actually just taking out the hatchery that is there. An absolute drone carnage going on right now in Psycho's mineral line. Meanwhile, on the eastern side of the map, Psycho is also suffering great losses here as the hatchery is about to go down as well. Those Marines were just pumping the stim packs into their arms, and unfortunately, of course, no cancel on this either. Very nice attack, very nice, well coordinated from Echo right there. Really good, or at least what I think is a pretty stellar attack. But here we go, we do have Psycho coming, and he does look like he is ready to do some damage. Echo, of course, pretty much just putting pressure on Psycho with that attack. And here we go, we do have quite a lot of Terran units moving out right now. These siege tanks will want to siege pretty soon, because they're going to get surrounded quite badly. And here is an ellipses, as it is known, from Psycho, and it does actually look like maybe these siege tanks are going to go down straight away. Of course they are, because the Marines have to retreat. There's quite a lot of firepower there for them, and Psycho is just throwing down the ellipses. It looks incredibly desperate for Echo right now, as there is so much stuff flooding into his base, and it looks like it could indeed just be all over. There are so many roaches doing so much damage, but I mean, there are 12 Marines at a time on the way for Echo, so he still might be able to clear this up. Meanwhile, there are more Zerglings at the bottom of the map just getting ready to come in and carry on the fight, maybe getting even morphed into Banelings, but that is still yet to be seen. These roaches, their numbers are steadily dwindling, and I mean, this is something that Echo is going to want to contain very quickly indeed. I mean, one thing I will say is Psycho hasn't actually damaged the infrastructure of Echo that badly at all, seeing as, well, let's have another look at the workers killed. 1. So in that entire attack, I don't actually think that Psycho killed one worker at all. And as far as army trades go, that's not bad. That's not actually that bad at all. But there is a Zergling harassment right here at Echo's potential 3rd base, which is going to stop that from going down. And here we go, more Zerglings coming in here trying to do their thing, but the Marines just pretty much closing them down very quickly indeed, as the Marines are doing so much damage. Crazy damage, hella damage, and just pumping 12 Marines at once. And this is what happens when players get good enough at splitting Marines up like this against Baneling play. They can just literally get the Marines very quickly indeed. And after a while, Marines are pretty much self-sufficient when it comes to defending themselves against Banelings, because the amount of DPS they do is very good indeed. Meanwhile, there is quite a big army right here, just to the east of Echo's army, which seems pretty small in comparison, but we must remember that there are also siege tanks on the field, and the siege tank's position isn't actually too bad. I mean, all the Banelings going into the siege tank, and they won't do as much damage against the siege tanks as they would against the Marine. Very nice split coming up there from Echo, and it does actually look like Echo might be able to pull this back. Fungal growths, of course, going down all over the place. Sometimes people opt to run away from infested Marines, but when there are only that many, it doesn't particularly matter at all. And here we go, we do have the Marines chasing the infestors across the map, with fungal growth taking out several of them at a time in absolute waves. But I mean, there are so many medbacks here from Echo that it's just, it seems to me like this army is becoming swiftly pretty invincible. 3+ weapons on the way for our Terran player right now, which should help him win the day also, but it's just yet to be seen. I mean, Echo does have his third base up right now, and of course Zerg players do want to stay a base ahead of their opponent at all times. Meanwhile, more reinforcements are coming in. They've actually been stimmed and are just legging it across the map right now, and all of the Overlords do actually look like they're going to go down, and this looks like it could be curtains for Psycho, seeing as there is a 78 to 158 supply discrepancy, and there is a cheeky ellipses from Echo when his opponent goes, good old 2 base, no skill Terran. Well, I think Echo has pretty much proved that there is skill behind him in an absolute degree, because it looked pretty desperate at one point. I mean, Psycho didn't actually kill his opponent's infrastructure at all, and that must have really helped. And I mean, Psycho did actually end with 2,500 minerals as well. He could have perhaps even done with a macro hatch. Oh, he did have one. Maybe, I don't know. Screw it. What I'm trying to say is that's a lot of minerals to end up on, but I mean, quite a lot of these Overlords did just absolutely get mashed at the end there. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Very enjoyable cast. Thanks to Echo for putting it on Cast It. Well done, you. Great game. And I love watching Terran games at the moment. I love it. It's brilliant. Alright, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time. Cheers. Goodbye.